Time Out has a list of the greatest horror movies. So here they are. Number 10 is Dawn of the Dead. Do you think that's the best Dead movie?
I would say so. I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
I would definitely go with that.
I mean, maybe not the most important one, but definitely the best one.
Yeah. Number 9, Suspiria.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
No.
That's surprising choice, actually. For a top 10.
I like that movie, but it's flawed.
Number 8 is Halloween. Yeah.
Yes.
That has to be on there. I mean, definitely.
Has to be on there. It's the slasher movie to end all slasher movies. So.
Number 7. La 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 la. What is it?
Rosemary's Baby.
There you go. Well, you didn't know we were on a Name That Film Score show.
I didn't know either. I didn't.
No, that's the title of the movie, Jerry. La 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 la. Number 6.
I mean, I like Rosemary's Baby, but it doesn't need to be that high.
I love Rosemary's Baby.
I mean, there's a better Roman Polanski movie that deserves to be up there. So.
In terms of horror?
Yeah, Repulsion. I think Repulsion is the best.
That's a strong case to be made for that. Actually,
Repulsion is much more horrifying because Rosemary's Baby almost veers into comedy at sometimes, and it's intentional comedy, I think. But still, I think that Repulsion is absolute horror.
I think so too, but you think of the origins of Rosemary's Baby and the fact that it came from William Castle, and it could have been one kind of movie, and it still has tinges of that kind of Castle-esque movie. But Polanski makes it so off-center, so strange and haunting in a way that you can't really define.
He does, but it's not a scary movie though. I think it's scary only in moments.
Hey,
whatever happened to Rosemary's Baby? What about that one?
The TV movie.
Hey,
what was that with Patty Duke? Was that with Patty Duke?
I think so. I'm not sure, but I just remember watching it as a kid. Yeah.
Let me tell you. I've had sex with the devil and some ex-girlfriends, and I can tell you it's very scary. Number 6 is John Carpenter's The Thing.
He's on there twice.
It's weird. That movie skates the line between sci-fi and horror. So I
find it very scary still.
I think it's great. It's just a great movie. It really is. Occasionally, Carpenter made a great movie.
But I don't like it. Also, in these lists, I don't like it when there are 2 or 3 directors. If there's one director that's represented more than once. So to have a top 10 with Carpenter's Thing and Halloween, I don't know.
It's interesting that the prequel remake or whatever you want to call it didn't have really the.
No.
It couldn't. I don't know how it could in one sense, but you did feel like you're watching, even though it's supposed to be, it is a prequel. You feel like you're just watching a remake, though.
almost scene for scene.
Yeah.
They can say they can mask it with prequel all they want, but that's a scene by scene.
Yeah, it really
carbon
is.
copy.
It just takes place at the other base camp, the previous base. That's really all it is, and it's the exact same thing. So, yeah.
Well, no movie kind of blurs the line between sci-fi and horror as much as this one, because their number 5 is Alien.
Now, that deserves to be on there.
Alien is actually more of a horror movie than it is a sci-fi movie. It's basically a haunted house movie in space. That's all it is.
Very scary film still. Watch that Alone in the Dark. Let me tell you, that's
it's scary.
But you just expressed in your synopsis of what the movie is. How it's split, haunted house, space.
Yeah, but that's just them trying to reimagine the haunted house movie, and they did it successfully. They perfectly blended those 2 genres.
Number 4 is Hitchcock's Psycho.
Yeah, definitely deserves to be there.
What a great movie. Number 3 is my all-time favorite horror movie, which is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Represent.
definitely deserves to be there for a reason that and we've talked about it before on this show, and we've mentioned it many times. I think it needs to be emphasized. It's a very scary movie, very frightening, because it is the whole adage of less is more.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my God, you just know something horrible is coming, and it's just the way it's shot and everything. It's just everything about it is just the atmosphere, everything, the mood, everything's just like that's what a real horror movie should be.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it really hides, the thing that Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which that every horror filmmaker loves Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but how have they not learned through watching it many, many times, as I'm sure they all have, how have they not learned that the things that we don't see are much more horrifying than the things that we do see? Like, why do we have to keep seeing a lot of gore? Texas Chainsaw Massacre ranks as one of the most horrifying movies because a lot of the stuff that happens to the characters in that movie happen behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one scene of real violence in that movie. I mean, so I don't know how
I agree with you, but
that.
I think it's once you break that taboo of gore, they think that there's this insatiable appetite for it, and if you don't give that to the audience, they're afraid that audiences will think you're lame,
And unfortunately, that's what a lot of audiences think now, is that if you don't see the gore, they think that it's pussyfooting around the thing. It's not.
Pussyfooting is not on this list. It's on top on 100 list. Number 2, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. Yep.
Definitely.
You know what? And
absolutely.
honestly, the top 5 greatest horror movies ever made and on any list are essentially these 5. I mean, they're all kind of interchangeable.
Always.
In any list you'll see. And the number 1, of course, is The Exorcist.
Mm-hmm.
So they got Chainsaw, Shining, and The Exorcist. The only pick that I've seen that's different, really, on a lot of lists in terms of top 10 best horror movies, a lot of people put Wait Until Dark on there.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a horror movie.
Yeah, I know you don't think it is.
That's a thriller, but it's not a horror movie.
Right.
Thriller, I think Thriller's on here. And I think
my
The Omen was
top 10
number 20, Jerry. So there you go.
I did my on Filmicability, which is filmicability.blogspot.com. I did the 101 greatest horror movies. My top 10 are The Exorcist, Chainsaw Massacre, Psycho, Night of the Living Dead, because I think it's a more important movie, Halloween, Frankenstein, the James Whale 31 movie, The Shining, Eraserhead. That would be the most unusual thing because I think it's horrifying. The Innocents by Jack Clayton from 1961.
Right, that's a good movie. It's a really good movie.
Possibly the greatest ghost haunted house ghost story movie that's ever been made, and it's unbelievable in widescreen, unbelievably well directed. And then number 10 would be Repulsion, because I think it's the female version of Psycho, Evil Dead, Alien, Vampire, Les Diaboliques, Funny Games even would round out the list. But Funny Games, I think, is an incredibly horrifying movie.
Oh, it's very, totally. I mean,
so,
yeah, I tried to watch Vampire.
Vampire is wonderful, but you have to be in the right
movie,
mood
right?
for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ugh, yeah, I got to be in the right mood for it. The mood to
it's
sleep.
Dreamy. It's dreamy and weird though, and you
it's
can
dreamy,
really see
all right.
where you can really see where David Lynch got a lot of his ideas from Vampire, I think, because it's quite unusual. I love that movie.